are you doing? Over? Exactly.
Yeah. You want over the shoulder? Can you want to lift that or what?
Yes, beginning it's going to say
Put it on the screen like there.
It's not that real to check out.
It went in. There we go. 3 in a row. It counted. You saw it off the wall and back in.
This is SportsCentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto on Digital Sports Center presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And we're going to get to qualifying at the Canadian Grand Prix in just a second, as I just wrapped up here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. But we got to start on the ice, because we're just moments away from Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And before we tee this one up, can we just take a moment to appreciate how incredible this series has been? We have been spoiled so far, thanks to 3 of the first 4 games going to OT. And while Game 3 wasn't close, it did feature some pretty epic brawls, and the 4th most penalty minutes in a Cup Finals game in history. So with how epic this Finals has already been, it's only fitting we're tied at 2 going into Game 5, which means tonight is pretty much the most important game of the season. Throughout NHL history, when a series is tied at 2, the winner of Game 5 goes on to win the series nearly 80% of the time. So with that said, how are both sides feeling heading into tonight? Well, for Edmonton, things are looking pretty good. Not only are they coming off a huge win on the road, but they also have a pretty solid track record going into Game 5 specifically, as they won 9 of the last 13 Game 5s, including 5 in a row going back to last year. And their opponents have actually had their fair share of struggles in Game 5, specifically in the Cup Final, as Florida has dropped Game 5 back-to-back years, allowing a combined 14 goals in those games. An absolute yikes, brother. And when you combine Edmonton's success with Florida's struggles in Game 5, it's not a surprise that the Oilers are favorites to win tonight on FanDuel. Like I've been saying all series long, it's Oilers, baby. Okay, let's switch over to F1, as qualifying just ended here at the track. And we're set up nicely for a great race on Sunday. Let's get right into those results, though. And just like our guy Tim Rainey predicted on this very show yesterday, George Russell won the pole for tomorrow's race. And he's followed by Max Verstappen, who had the second fastest time, followed by Oscar Piastri at 3rd. His McLaren teammate Lando Norris with a disappointing 7th fastest time. Now that we know what the starting grid looks like, how does that affect the odds? Well, let's take a look. Max Verstappen is now the favorite at plus 170. You could have got him at 5-1 before today. And if you did, that would have been smart on you. Oscar Piastri follows at plus 175, and pole winner George Russell is at plus 280. And just a reminder, you can watch the Canadian Grand Prix tomorrow on TSN at 1:55 Eastern, 10:55 a.m. Pacific. But pregame starts nice and early with Grand Prix Sunday at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Listen, I was always thinking Max has this track covered, but I feel like I don't want to go against the grain, and the grain is Tim Rainey, so I don't know. Now I don't know. Time now for Saucy Sounds presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And earlier we had a chance to catch up with a trio of Canadian NFLers who all just happened to be here at the race, including Super Bowl champion Sidney Brown, his brother who's soon to be a first-round pick in all your fantasy drafts in a couple months, Chase Brown, and Falcons offensive lineman Matthew Bergeron. So fellas, who was winning the race Sunday?
I want to say Max Verstappen because he's my favorite driver, but McLaren's been strong all season, so I think McLaren's a safe bet.
Who's winning this weekend?
Who's winning? I want to see Ferrari win. I mean, I've always been like a Lewis Hamilton fan, so go Ferrari. I want to see Ferrari win. You know, me and my brother are big Louis Hamilton fans, so yeah, I want to see Ferrari win.
I don't know if they kept up with the season Formula One, but Ferrari hasn't done well. So I think McLaren or Max Verstappen is the best choice for this weekend.
Listen, as an Italian woman, I do ride for Ferrari still in my heart.
It's the worst to travel with.
This guy can be a pain.
Yeah, Yuki. I was going to say Yuki can be quite difficult to travel with. No, you, actually. Yeah, you are late for everything. I would say...
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I would
When?
say you took a shower after the race and we were like ready to go to the airport. Plane was ready to go. And we waited for you to shower and get changed.
No, you're always more late than me.
No.
Bro.
Are you serious?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to put you on the board.
Okay.
So if you want to put me on there with...
Okay.
We can disagree to disagree.
Look at these two guys.
Listen, as the girly on the team that also arrives just a couple minutes after the time everyone asked for, I'm not going to hate on that. To watch the full called out Visa Cash App Racing Bull squad, head to TSN's YouTube or just click the link below. Okay, time to take you beyond the curtain once again, because Paddock life at the Canadian Grand Prix is truly a special experience. You could just be walking around and almost bump into and spill your coffee on George Russell. That didn't happen to me, but maybe someone else. I know. It was producer Christopher Hine, okay? I'm selling him out. To the celebrities, the driver, to the sweet, sweet perks, and by that I mean the food. Here's a trip through the paddock in the latest edition of Roberto on the Go. There have been improvements made this year at the Canadian Grand Prix. The biggest is a second level in the team suites. Look at that. Yeah. The coolest part is seeing the drivers just walk around. Then we have a souvenir stand. You know I'm getting in line. The Suvies are luggage tags, personalized, and buttons, all for free. Just making our way to my favorite place. We see the order of team houses as well. It's all based off last year's standings. Now we go to Le Chalet, or the cottage, this way. This is the TSN and RDS desk right here with a background of people just hanging out. There's a DJ. You can watch the race from here too. And then let's take a look at the food. The Return of the Maple, I know I showed you last year. It's literally just toffee on a stick. We have poutine. And then we have From the Sea. I want to see what this is. Lobster roll. This is the best part. Ball hockey. This is the fun of the Paddock at F1 Montreal. Nice to have a place to just come and chill out. I wonder what they're going to do next year. I realized that I didn't show you guys that there's also coffee and bagels. There's a little setup for coffee and bagels, but it wasn't open when I was going through. So now I'm gonna go through and have more bagels. Yes, we hit bagels hard on this trip. That's it for me today. We'll see you back tomorrow before the race. We'll see you then.